Right, what have we got here? Boosh. Well, it's a load of cables. So I had to get a load of cables, and I thought, you know what, I'll do a review of them. Now, they haven't been sent to me by Anker. I bought these with my own money. And as usual, as with every other video on the channel, it's an honest review. So I got these, and I got some stuff for family members and things like that. And I kept a batch of them, and I thought I'll let people have a look, because I've noticed that there's so many cables now from Anker that they're starting to give them series. So in this case, you've got Series 3, Series 5, Series 6. As the numbers ascend, the price goes up, but also so does the quality. And when I'm talking about quality, it's not like some con. The materials, the way that they are constructed, and the warranty increases. You know, you go from like a no quibble warranty all the way to like a lifetime warranty. Data speeds change depending on the connectors. I've got two Type C to Type Cs, and I've got a Type A to Type C. I just want to mix it up. So you've got a nice little look at the different sort of levels that you can get from Anker. In general, I would say if I get the choice, I always buy Anker cables because they last longer, other ones don't. If I want a cheaper one, I'll tend to go for Blitzwolf or Basius or things like that. There's so many non-brand name ones, but they're absolutely awful. They don't tend to last. I haven't tested every single cable out there, but the ones I have been awful. So I've just found, as a general rule, if you want ones to last, generally buy a brand name. That's just my personal opinion. Okay, so we'll go through these. So starting with the Series 3, I think this box is bigger because I think this is probably a double pack if I remember rightly. So we'll take this out. So this is a Series 3, so entry level. I mean, on their own website, I think they term that as keep it simple. And then as you move up to the Series 5, they say it's like higher quality. Then Series 6 is higher. And then I think the highest is Series 7. But I don't have one of those. So yeah, it's a double of this one. So Bush, not interested in them. Get rid of them. So it's got one of these nice connectors. It's Velcro. I use these a lot with PC building and things like that, and they are handy, but I generally take them off. And this is quite a long one. So let's talk about the specs of this. So this is the Anker. Now, like I say, it's the Series 3. So this happens to be the model 333. So you have 3 digits. I'm not going to go that in depth on what they all mean, but this is the 333. So it's a Type C to Type C, and I'll show you that. So Type C on both ends. It's 6 foot in total length, and this is a nylon. Now it's a nylon braid. Now I do a lot of fishing, and so I know that braid is extremely strong. It's when you braid two things together and they interlock and they pull on each other, and it's extremely strong. Now this happens to be a double braid, and I'll show you. I've done this in 4K HDR, so you can zoom in if you want. I'll rotate that slightly as it's in focus. Looks nice, feels nice. Even though it's braided, it's not too rough. Tends to be, if you get a loose braid, I don't like that. I like a tight braid like this because it's less likely to pull little fibers off or get caught on things. Quality wise, very nice. I'll get a nice close up there, and you can see on there it says 100 watt. We'll discuss that though. And this feels like it's aluminum on the end, and then you've got plastic, and there's the head there. So this is brand new out the box, and I'll give you a close up there so you can see the pins there. All in all, feels nice, feels solid. I like the long necks because they tend to give you a little bit of strain relief from bends. What they're doing is, on their own internal tests, they're claiming anyway that this can take 12,000 bend lifespan. So in other words, they've obviously taken this, put it in a machine and went bend, counted that, and they're calculating that, you know, you'll get around 12,000 bends before it starts affecting the wires in here. Good, I like that, because like I say, with the cheap cables, they don't last 5 minutes or 3 months, 6 months, and you get irritating issues where you've got to fiddle with the cable to get it to work. I hate that. So nice. So like I say, 6 foot, 100 watt, which you can see on there. So pretty high. Just bear in mind 100 watt. Not many devices are going to need 100 watts, and just bear in mind you're going to need a pretty beefy. I tend to go for the gallium nitride stuff. Here's a 65 watt from Ugreen. I'm still yet to review this. I've got a couple of these. So you're going to need a high output to get that. You can't just stick this in, go to Screwfix or B&Q and get a cheap Type C connector which outputs 20 watts. It isn't going to, you're not going to get the full 100 watts, but it is capable of that. Now, because of that high output, high throughput, I should say, of energy, it means that you have lower data speeds. So in that regard, this only runs at USB 2. Now, if you want to go and check my video, I'm not going to go over it again of the different data speeds. You've got version 3 is much faster. In fact, we can quickly go over that. USB 2 speeds is 480 megabits per second off the top of my head. You never actually get that. That's a theoretical maximum. I've never seen that in reality, but that's the theoretical maximum. And then USB 3, which this isn't. Remember, this is USB 2. USB 3 gives you about 5 gigabits per second. And then I think, is it version 3.1 of USB Gen 2 goes somewhere like 10 gigabits per second and higher. But you need specialist cables for that, so you're not always going to get that. So in this regard, you only get USB 2 speed, so relatively slow, so just bear that in mind. This is more angled towards someone who wants to charge fast from a Type C to Type C. They're not that bothered about data speeds, I understand that. So double braided nylon, I like it. It's got the 12,000 bend lifespan. You can only get this in, I think, 3 colours. I went for black. You can get it in red and white, so pretty interesting. I'm more than happy with that, so let's get that out of the way. And moving on to the next one, there's the 5. So 5 series. Now this is, now they're calling this the Powerline 3, I think. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, you can see on the back there. So Powerline 3, sorry, 2 there. So Powerline 2 USB-C to, now you'll notice it's not USB-C to USB-C. This is a USB-C to a Type A. It doesn't say that, but what they mean is USB 3.1 Gen 2. So that's bang up to date, and it's 3 foot or 0.1 meters. So we'll get this open and I shall show you that. Slightly different design here. You've got the same connector here, Velcro, nice to have. But I generally take these off if I'm using them in the car or other things like that. So we'll take it off just for this. Feels quite taut, quite strong, quite a thick covering here. Different head design here, as you'll notice. In this regard, it's a one piece, and then it goes in there. Pretty nice though, I've got no problems with that. And there's the head, nice and long, and this area isn't too wide or obstructive. In other words, when you're using it on certain flashlights, if this is too wide, it can be slightly obstructive. This head feels rubberized. The whole thing feels rubber and soft and smooth. I like that. It's not super soft, like I say, it's taut, but it's decent. So I'll give you the full name of this. This is, again, Series 5. So you can see that there, Series 5, Anker Powerline 2, USB-A, which is a Type 3.1 Gen 2, or the Type A to a Type C. And it's 3 foot long in total length. So let's get out of the way. So, because of that, if you remember the Type, the last one was only USB 2 speed, so 480 megabits per second theoretical. The theoretical maximum on this, much faster. So what you're getting on this is you're getting at 10 gigabits per second, so massively faster. Now because of that, there is a drop in the power that you're getting. So the throughput for this is, I think they're saying 3 amps, you get about 60 watts total. So around half-ish. Obviously the last one was 100, but this comes with a lifetime warranty, this one. So if at any point this knacks, lifetime warranty. I've got no problems with that. I didn't notice what their internal testing was on the bends. Sometimes they'll say this will bend 20,000 times and things. I didn't notice one on this, but it feels extremely tough. So I'll probably use that somewhere. So put that to one side. And the next one is the Series 6. So here you go, Series 6. I'll show you the box quickly there. So on the back there, you can see this is the Powerline 3 Flow. USB-C to USB-C, and again this is going back up to 100 watts and it's 3 foot or 0.9 meters long. Worry-free warranty, fast charging, blah blah blah. Yeah, used by millions of people all over the shop. Wonderful, very nice. So let's get this opened. So there you go. This one just happens to come in lavender or whatever the hell the colour is. You get, now the coating on this is weird. It feels almost, it's super soft. It's a silicone. It's extremely soft to the hands. It almost feels like it's got talc on it. It's so soft, but it hasn't. Very strong feeling, but extremely soft. So interesting head design. So let's have a close-up. So a one head design there. So it goes in, and then you have a separate metal bit on the end, and then the head. You can see the seam there slightly, which is a little bit annoying, but okay. Not many people are going to sit and scrutinize that. You can use a reaming tool to take that off if you're that bothered, I suppose. And there's the head itself. Almost like a rose gold effect on that there. And then Anker, there's no, other than the serial number, there's nothing on there to tell you the wattage. I wish on cables now they would have to have a stamp telling you the data speed and the wattage. I wish they would do that. Like bring a lawyer in to say you've got to do that. You've also got this connector tidy here to keep them together. This is soft silicone as well, or an extremely soft rubber. I'll take that off. I mean, that's too big. That looks like some sort of medical implement, you know. ER, young doctors, no thanks. Right, so cable itself feels lovely. We'll go over the specs. So this happens to be, it was the Series 6, and the model number on this is the 643. So Powerline 3, the last one was the Powerline 2, and it's flow. I think by flow they just mean it's got the nice silicone on. I think there's only two in this line. There's a Apple type, and then the proper Type C to C, because I think even Apple are being forced now to get rid of their proprietary connectors. And it's 100 watt. So very nice, but because of the 100 watt, again, you'll notice the theme here, because it's 100 watt, you'll lose the data. So data speed on this is only USB 2, so 480 megabits per second. That's not bytes per second, that's bits per second, so relatively slow. You can get this in 7 colors if you're that bothered. I mean, you know, if you want everything to match. You can, however, I've noticed you can get this in the 3 foot or the 6 foot, although I noticed the 6 foot was ridiculous priced and this one was reasonable, so I don't know what that's all about. This one has a 25,000 bend lifespan. Compare that to the first one we looked at, which was the double braided one. This only had a, I think this was like 12,000 lifespan, 12,000 bends. So 25 on this. They're much more confident on this. And again, this has a lifetime warranty, if I remember rightly. Yeah, worry-free warranty. If I remember right, I'm sure on the website it says lifetime warranty, though I accept it doesn't say this on the box. I will have a look at that though. So very nice. So silicone, it feels nice, plenty of lifespan on it, plenty of colors, double, you know, have three or 7 foot, 6 foot, sorry, in length. I'm very happy with this. So I'll probably use this one in the car. You know, I've got so many connectors all over, but it depends what your needs are. So if you wanted a mega fast data speed, I'll probably go for that. That's going to give you the highest data speed, but it's only 60 watts. This is the highest quality, but it's the most expensive. Type C to Type C. You know, it depends what you're after at the end of the day. That's the problem. What do you want? But I mean, this one is 100 watts. So if you're after a fast charger, that's probably what you want to go for. And then you also have this one here, which is the I think this is the 333. So again, it depends what you're after at the end of the day. So you've got those 3 choices. So like I say, we've gone through them. I've tried to do this rapidly because I know people have been whinging recently, going, your reviews are too long, you can do better. Well, you know, okay, I can maybe talk faster, I don't know. So that was the Series 3, Series 5 and Series 6. If you have any questions, stick them down below, boom, 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 and I'll get them. I answer everybody. Latest statistics, I have now answered 3,700 comments on YouTube. So when you know, at night when you're fast asleep in bed dreaming about new flashlights, I'm answering people's questions and things. So just bear that in mind. So if I don't answer straight away, I'm not being, you know, an idiot. I will get them when I have time. So apologies for that, but I'm getting close to 4,000 people I've replied to there. So thank you very much. Stick it down below if you've got any questions, or if you think, well, I don't like Anker, actually I think they're a load of rubbish. That's great. Tell me what's better. Put it down below, because I'll go and try them if you want. But in regards to these, I've always been happy with Anker. Never had any problems with them. I've got Anker adapters, all sorts of things that still go to this day, and some of them are like 8 years old. That, you know, mega thumbs up from me. In regards to these cables, I'll long-term test them, but initial tests, no problems with them whatsoever. They hook up to everything. If I want mega fast data, I'll go for this. If I want mega fast wattage, I'll go for these. So brilliant. Okay, thanks for joining me. I'm off.